if I die tomorrow. I hope you hear these words. I ain't here to flip no birds or sip no serve. Hope the future generations can get this urge. Stay woke, youngin', and avenge these nerds.
Hey guys, this is your boy Sebastian here with a new segment for nerds that we're testing out. It's called The Plug. We usually do this on the live, but we want to feature more of the creators. And our first guest is actually Phoebe Xavier from 123 Go Publication. She is a writer, editor, in chief, and also letterer. Phoebe, thank you for being the first for this great series.
Sure, thank you for having me, Sebastian.
So again, Happy New Year, because it is a new year. Are you excited for this new year? What's going to bring for you in comics and everything?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I'm releasing my first book this month. That's a prose book. I have released about 15 comic books, and we have probably at least 4 to drop this year, I think. And but I'm very excited about putting all that together.
Awesome. So tell us, all of us who don't know about 123 Go Publication, how did this company get funded? How did it start? Tell us your origin story of how you got into comics and how this company was built.
Sure. It's not even a company. I wouldn't call it that. I refer to it as a brand. It isn't incorporated on paper, but it's like a collective that operates under the umbrella of that brand. And it started with my own solo cyberpunk book, Sidereal Apogee. And I had a few issues of that I put together, and I've been using Go as my brand or logo. And I found out that was sort of in use in publication somewhere else, maybe. So in our Facebook groups where we all have like a think tank and ongoing discussion about ideas, works in progress, I would often say, all right, 1, 2, 3, go. After I said what we should be working on, they'd be like, all right, now go do it. I was like, all right, well, that works kind of for the brand then. And I decided it was really important to have that defined banner under which I was publishing. When I started putting out other people's books, that I was like, well, let's have a consistent logo, and that'll go on each book, sort of define us as a collective.
Awesome. I mean, and so you're a writer, letterer. So tell us a little bit about the comics you got to work on. What was your inspiration for comics? And give us your little bit of your origin story. What made you want to get into comics?
I started reading comics at a very early age, and I collected them through the 80s and the 90s. And then I kind of hit adulthood and started having to pay my own bills and stuff. So I stopped collecting as much through the last 20 years. But comic books have always been a passion of mine. And I think I consume it more now in television format. I've seen more Miss Marvel shows than I've read Miss Marvel issues, for example. Although I did own every single She-Hulk issue on John Byrne's run.
So, I love it.
Yeah. So yeah, comic books have definitely been one of my passions for a very long time. And I used to do hip hop music, and I was turning 40 and kind of about to turn 40. It's maybe I should put this down, I put so much creative energy into this all the time and work on comic books, which I still also love and have these ideas for. Yeah, it was kind of a phasing out of, I also used to be a traveler, that I would live out of a backpack and bounce around the country, living on the streets and shit. And it's another thing that I sort of aged out of, that it's my body can't lay down on concrete anymore. You wake up and I can't move. My neck is pinched or something. But when I was young, I did these things. Yeah.
Still, we're all still young at heart. I mean, I don't talk about my age or anything like that. But I definitely gotta hook you up with the creator of the song. I mean, you've heard the theme song. He's actually a rapper. He creates rap for grown folk. That's what he says. It's a loose side. A lot of love out there. So. Your book is available. Your books are available on Kindle. They're also at indieplanet.com, #123go. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So, cyberpunk genre. So, so tell us about some of the genres you worked in. You mentioned cyberpunk. Some of the genres that really attract you, that you dived into, and everything.
Okay. Yeah, cyberpunk is definitely one of my favorite things to write in and also to consume. William Gibson is my favorite author. I'm patiently awaiting the third book in the Jackpot trilogy. Um, I was into sci-fi in general at a very early age, but then I think even mostly through like movies and TV and cartoons, like is where I got more into cyberpunk rather than the books initially. Like Ghost in the Shell is my all-time favorite anime, and so I'd say that might even be in the mid '90s where I got my introduction to cyberpunk and was like, oh shit, this is something I really like to read and write about. But yeah, heavily influenced by the movies of PKD, and then later in life some of the writings of PKD that I read. But uh, Gibson is right up there at the forefront of who inspires me. I've been reading John Courtney Grimwood recently. I read The End of the World Blues by him, which is like genre bending, like kind of like almost like, yeah, going back and forth from sci-fi to fantasy in a very surrealist way. And that's kind of where I'm at right now as far as what I'm trying to be writing about. I'm reading some of the masters of magical realism and trying to find some space to work inside that genre. That is one of the next things I'm looking at tackling. But cyberpunk overall is my wheelhouse of where I'm pretty comfortable writing about like hackers and technologies and cool little ways that those tricks of technology or hacking can flip a situation on its head, like and as a plot twist. So yeah, that's I don't know, cyborgs and computer hacking. It's a lot of fun to read about.
Phoebe, where have you been? I mean, these are some of the stuff that I love. I think that's how I got introduced to Cyberpunk 2 was Ghost in the Shell, Armitage the Third. And it's just like I just for that just fell into a deep love with Cyberpunk. So I see the parallels right there. Jeff knew what he was doing.
Yeah. Like I said, Jeff was a great publicist.
So you have a book coming out at the end of this month, at the end of January. Talk to us a little bit about that. Give everyone the 411 on this book that's coming out, the title and everything, and what they can find. Go right ahead. It's all yours.
It's called Superliminal Latency. And as we were just speaking of genres, it allows me to introduce a genre that I had been working on for the last decade called horror porn, which those stories involve graphic violence, graphic sex, and graphic substance abuse, and have pretty fucked up action throughout, and then like pretty fucked up twist endings in most of them. I also sort of do use a code in the titling of the stories so that if you don't want to read this X-rated like rape story, like you will know which stories are in that genre and which aren't. But it's also a bunch of cyberpunk stories, some regular horror stories, and these are short stories that I've been writing for almost 20 years now. That I think the first two stories were started in about 2003. So yeah. And it's actually available on Kindle already. There's a version on Kindle that is available for download. I hadn't realized the way that Kindle would sort of reformat the docs that I uploaded to it. So I am in the process of hiring someone that is going to reformat what's up there on Kindle. But I guess if you're scrolling on a tablet or something, it won't look as bad as it does to me. But I'm like, oh my God, we had this so beautifully, like page by page, meticulously, like perfect. And yeah, Kindle sort of garbled it to me, from my perspective at least. I think it'd still be an enjoyable read if someone went up and downloaded the version that's out there. But yeah, also it will be available on indieplanet.com, which is where I sell most of my comic books anyway. And it'll be under indieplanet.com/123go. And I think we have like 14 books for sale up there now. And then the book will be live by the end of the month.
So Phoebe, I have this one breaking question. This is a breaking question right here. This is the one that's going to really be the one that's the solidifier right there. If you could pick one character that is your favorite that could play you in any type of genre, what character would that be that best describes you?
Oh, a character that we would know from like pop culture that would represent
pop culture. It could be anime, comics. You're giving it free range here.
All right. I don't know. I might like to take the Major. She's got some powers going on there. Yeah, I'll take Major Motoko Kusanagi.
There you go, guys. So this has been Phoebe. She's come on over here to be on the first inaugural guest on what we're calling the plug. Phoebe, please plug away your social medias, where people can find you. Go right ahead.
I'm mostly just on Instagram, not very active. I also have a Twitter that I keep all my politics going on, so I don't really invite people to engage there because I'm going to be like extremely like harsh on certain political stances, maybe. So I don't want to argue with people, so don't come find me on Twitter. But I'm on Instagram. I'm at Phoebe Phoebe 123 go. I don't post a lot, but I do like look at what my friends and who I'm following, what they're posting. Um, and on Facebook, we have a 123 Go Publications fan page. You can find us there. We post there occasionally. Um, and there are a couple other associated Twitter accounts and Instagram accounts that are like people that work with 123 Go. At the moment, I'm kind of plugging Vikings Saga of the North. That's like Vikings underscore between each word. And that is a Kickstarter we'll be launching hopefully in April, which is a 22-page a historical accounting of the Viking Age. It's not really like we didn't reinvent the wheel. We just like took these beautiful renditions of the Viking Age that my friend Jose did and put a narrative arc to them, kind of to be informative of the history of the actual Viking Age.
Awesome. I love Phoebe. I want to thank you again, guys. Make sure you follow Phoebe. Check out the links in the description. And again, give that support to Indie over there at 123 Go Publication. Again, this has been The Plug. This has been your boy Sebastian. You guys have a wonderful night.
Have a great night, everybody.